You celebrate New Year's every year, but almost everything you believe about it is a lie. From its twisted origins to traditions so bizarre they feel like internet pranks, this holiday is built on secrets you were never supposed to know. Today, we are breaking open 15 wild truths that completely rewrite the story of January 1st. Number 1. You likely think the year naturally has 12 months and starts in winter because of some cosmic law. This is actually a result of ancient Roman incompetence. The original calendar had only 10 months and ended in December, leaving a weird 60-day void in winter that simply didn't count as time. No dates, no weeks, just a gap where people waited for spring. January and February were panic added later to stop the seasons from drifting. Our entire concept of the new year is essentially a patch update for a glitchy calendar that ignored winter because politicians couldn't figure out how to tax frozen crops. Number 2. The luxury myth that Dom Perignon invented champagne and shouted, "I am tasting the stars," is a 19th century marketing scam. In reality, the French monk spent his life trying to kill the bubbles. He saw them as a disastrous flaw. The pressure caused bottles to explode in cellars, sending shards of glass flying like shrapnel. It was nicknamed the devil's wine. When you pop an expensive bottle today, you're paying a premium for a manufacturing defect that monks literally prayed to God would stop happening so they wouldn't lose an eye. Number 3. That midnight kiss isn't a romantic moment, it's a ritual born of superstitious desperation. Ancient folklore claimed the first person you encountered in the new year determined your fate for the next 12 months. If you didn't secure a kiss immediately, you were cursed with a year of cold loneliness. We've turned it into a rom-com trope, but deep down, you aren't kissing for love. You're participating in a centuries-old panic drill to ward off the social stigma of being single. Number 4. The glitzy Times Square ball drop is marketed as the ultimate party, but you're actually cheering for an obsolete piece of sailing equipment. Time balls were functional tools in ports so sailors could calibrate their watches. New York only adopted it because the city banned fireworks in 1907 and needed a cheap, fire-safe way to keep people looking up. We've taken a boring 19th century navigation tool, covered it in LEDs, and convinced the world it's entertainment. It's the equivalent of counting down the year by watching a lighthouse blink. Number 5. New Year, New Me is sold as a modern self-improvement trend to move gym memberships, but the guilt trip is 4,000 years old. The ancient Babylonians made the first resolutions, but they didn't promise to drink more water. They solemnly swore to their gods that they would return borrowed farm equipment and pay off debts. If they failed, they believed the gods would ruin their lives. So when you break your resolution by January 15th, you're failing a tradition that was originally about returning your neighbor's plow so you didn't get smited. Number 6. You think New Year's parties are for dancing, but the original celebration was a performance review for the government. In ancient Babylon, the high priest would drag the king into the temple, strip him of his robes, and slap him across the face as hard as possible. If the king cried, the gods were happy and crops would grow. If he didn't, everyone was doomed. Our modern criticism of politicians is nothing compared to a time when national security depended on making the leader weep in public. Number 7. Baby New Year is seen as a cute infant in a diaper representing innocence. That's the sanitized version. He's actually based on the Greek god Cronus, also known as Father Time, who was famous for devouring his own children to stay in power. The baby isn't being born, he's a grim reminder of mortality. The symbol represents the old year dying and the new one immediately beginning its march toward the grave. We took a mythological cannibal and turned him into a party-apkin mascot. Number 8. Blowing party horns and setting off fireworks isn't about joy, it's a massive, coordinated exorcism. In ancient cultures, the transition between years was a thin spot in reality where demons could slip through. The only way to keep them out was to make the most obnoxious noise possible. The screaming and banging on pots were sonic weapons designed to terrify ghosts. When you blow that horn, you aren't spreading cheer, you're performing a defensive scream to keep the devil out of your kitchen. Number 9. We've been told gift giving is for Christmas, but for most of history, New Year's was the real loot day. Romans exchanged jars of honey on January 1st, and British royalty demanded piles of gold jewelry from their subjects. Queen Elizabeth I famously funded her entire wardrobe by forcing her court to give her expensive dresses on New Year's morning. It wasn't until the Victorian era that marketing shifted to December 25th. Santa Claus basically stole New Year's job and took all the credit. Number 10. Cleaning your house on January 1st is a suicidal move for your luck. In folklore around the world, there is a belief that doing laundry on New Year's Day will literally wash a loved one away, a polite way of saying they might die. Sweeping is even worse, as you're sweeping your good fortune out the door before it can settle. It is the only day of the year where being a lazy slob is a legitimate spiritual survival strategy. Number 11. In Ireland, baked goods are used as spiritual blunt instruments. There is a tradition called banging the bread, where people hit the walls and doors of their house with a hard loaf of Christmas bread. The logic is that the noise and crumbs chase away bad luck. Imagine an entire nation welcoming the year not with a toast, but by furiously attacking their own real estate with a baguette. Number 12. While we drink champagne, Russians have turned the toast into a high-speed digestion challenge. You write your wish on a piece of paper, burn it with a lighter, dump the ashes into your glass, and drink the entire sludge mixture before the clock finishes striking 12. If you hesitate, your wish fails. The key to happiness is apparently ingesting a cocktail of burnt carbon and ink in under 60 seconds. Number 13. In Denmark, finding broken plates on your doorstep means you're popular. People save up cracked ceramics all year just to smash them against the front doors of their friends on New Year's Eve. The bigger the pile of sharp debris on your mat, the more people love you. It's a friendship contest measured in property damage. You wake up on January 1st to a hazardous mess and think, wow, I'm really loved. If you walk into a Danish home at midnight, everyone is standing on chairs and sofas like they're afraid of a mouse. They are preparing to leap into the new year. Tradition says you must jump off the furniture exactly at 12 to avoid stepping in the gap between the years. Touching the floor during the transition is bad luck. It's nationwide synchronized gymnastics performed by people who have had way too much to drink. We look back at ancient superstitions and laugh, but in 1999, the modern world had a collective nervous breakdown called Y2K. People genuinely believed that at midnight, computers would get confused by the zeros, planes would fall from the sky, and toasters would attack. We stockpiled food and withdrew cash because of a coding shortcut. It proves that no matter how advanced we get, we are always just one calendar page flip away from thinking the... Now that you know the holiday is a lie, let's settle this. Which New Year tradition from this list would you never try, even if it guaranteed you a year of perfect luck? Tell us in the comments and watch the chaos unfold. If you want more videos that ruin everything you thought you knew, hit like and subscribe.